That moment in itself wasn't by happenstance, and it wasn't on accident. That's where it happens. That's where we can create environments with that human connection that is centered around that pause. And everything that's going on, that is a pause. And in that is where I always have believed and said the magic occurs. I call it, when we are designing those experiences for that pause to occur, I call it respect the pause. Tactile elements. And then think about the visual spatial design of the space. Is it always the same? Can people take pathways to get to, and then have certain journeys along the way to experience?
Be kind of flexible and know how to pivot on your feet. So for instance, we pivoted our user conference to more of a leader summit for our first event. And that was because I evaluated what are the goals, what are we trying to achieve? We still need a lightning strike category launch moment that we can invite press to. But we also need to close deals and drive revenue and incremental.
And that I'm seeing is in terms of just consolidation, and a lot of procurement teams just pushing for, maybe before you were using a different reg platform and a different mobile app and a different, you use something else for on-site and something else for the virtual aspect of a hybrid event. But really just consolidation is the trend that we're seeing there.
Budget in sections of like nice to have and must have, and that it's then super easy to say to stakeholders like, okay, well, here's the list, right? Like it's a trade-off, right? Like something's got to give.
Every single session was a different experience, but they also did longer breaks, which took the stress out of it for me. And then they had a lot of repeat sessions. They've repeated, which I think is so valuable. Instead of, like you said, you don't know where people are going to go, like save yourself some time. Do repeat sessions. You don't need to plan 75 different sessions with speakers and topics and everything. Simplifying, I think, sometimes is the best.
I think from an attention span standpoint, I always push back on the idea that people's attention spans are getting shorter, because I think it's the content. I mean, I just binge watched 4 episodes of Grey's Anatomy the other day. So I know that I can sit still and listen for 4 hours if I want to.
I'm into it that way.
So,
It's not that we're impatient if it's boring, right?
For me, the best metaphor that I find to describe events, it seems to me that they are like soap bubble. So when we talk about the power of events, I try to visualize also the power of soap bubble. Why soap bubble? Because they are sparkling, they are fascinating, they are very powerful and full of color, but then they disappear.